Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Froe Show. My name is Filmmaking and I'm joined, as always, by my beautiful co-host, Joe Murray.
Hello. Hey, Frank. That was really something. That was really something.
It was something. I wouldn't say it was a good something.
No.
But it was definitely something. You know what I'm going to try this week, actually?
What?
I'm going to try to keep us on time.
Oh.
Hello?
What?
Oh, my phone music decided that it wanted to play instead. Hold on, let me disconnect my phone from the speaker.
I might just turn that off.
Yeah, good plan. Yeah, no, I'm gonna run a stopwatch this week.
Ooh.
So that we can actually stay on time.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that's been an issue in the past. It's just us this week.
It is.
It's sad.
It's a little sad.
No.
I came in, saw the other chair in the corner over there. I was like, oh.
No.
Oh.
I am so cold.
How are you so cold?
I don't know.
I'm like ready to take my jacket off.
Like, look at my hands.
Oh my goodness.
I am like actually freezing in here.
But how?
I don't know.
I told you to do a lap before.
I didn't want to do a lap. I don't want to. I don't want to. These lights are too bright. I was hoping that the lights would heat up the room, but
no. Well, now you got that one. Your new one.
I know, now I've got a better light that actually dissipates heat normally.
Yeah. It's not like
it does what
putting a heater in the room.
It does what it's supposed to, damn it. And now I'm just cold. I'm wearing my warm jacket.
Yeah,
I feel like we've regressed back into like winter. Like we had a couple of days where it was warm again. Now it's cold again.
Like go outside. It's quite warm outside.
Well, I'm not outside, am I? I'm in
here.
here.
No, that's why it's so cold in here.
I know. And I did close the blinds and stuff pretty early. Because I had to set up. That makes, you know what? Yeah, that makes sense.
Good one.
Yeah, thanks. I'm just cold, okay? I'm going to try and be like pumpy, but I'm just cold. Let's do the news.
Okay.
You turn it down. Joe.
I'm sorry.
You can't turn it down and leave it turned down.
Because you were playing music.
No.
No.
There.
Yes.
All right.
Good.
Let's get into the news. I'm going to throw news. I'm your anchor, Filmmaking. This is your entertainment news weekly.
I think you need to get another jumper so that you wake up a little bit.
Maybe I need I don't know. Maybe I need to get a Red Bull or something. I don't know. It's fine.
I don't know.
Well, I'll stick it out. I'm gonna keep my hands in my pockets.
Okay.
Nice and cozy.
Warm
Welcome to Froe News, the entertainment news weekly that we do on the Froe Show. Joe, do you have any news this week? You actually have news. All right. Well, how about we do it like this? I'll do one and then you do one.
Okay.
Sound good?
It's a little old news because I had it for last week, but then we had a guest.
Right.
But
I hope none of our news intersect. But
I reckon it will.
All right.
Anyway.
I'll start. Tenet has been indefinitely delayed in the US. However, it has been set for a worldwide release in late August for everywhere else. It is just America where they've said no. So the rest of the world will see Tenet very shortly, which I'm very excited for.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, I'm not used to this. Michelle Obama has released her podcast on Spotify. It's streaming exclusively on Spotify. Called the Michelle Obama podcast. Michelle Obama podcast. Yeah, and it's Spotify's attempt to try and capture the leading position in podcasting. Yeah.
Marvel's upcoming Black Widow movie reportedly has 30 minutes of IMAX footage, which should be interesting with a massive screen and everything. So that one might actually be worth seeing in an IMAX theater.
Yeah. Wow, that's cool. The Australian government has offered $280 million to Hollywood in an effort to attract some large inbound foreign film productions.
Oh, I did actually hear about that. That's really good. Good for the industry.
Yeah.
The first trailer for the upcoming movie June with Timothée Chalamet and so many other people, but I can only think of Timothée Chalamet, releases in August, the first trailer, not the movie, the trailer, which is going to be cool. We've seen lots of production stills and that sort of thing from this movie, so it'll be good to finally see what it actually looks like.
Yeah. That's all the news I got.
Oh, that's all your news. Okay. Yeah. Well, the Emmy nominations are out.
Actually,
there are quite a few shows that are on top. I Could go through each and every one of them, but I'm not going to. I just have the top ones. So at the top, we have Watchmen with 26 nominations. Then we have Miss Maisel with 20, Ozark with 18 nominations, Succession with 18 nominations, The Mandalorian with 15 nominations, SNL, Saturday Night Live, with 15 nominations, Schitt's Creek with 15 nominations, and The Crown with 13 nominations.
Yeah, I heard Netflix did really well in that.
Netflix has done very well in their nominations.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the kind of the bigger ones that are up for nomination, which is great. Netflix has officially announced a Witcher prequel series called Blood Origin. No clue on what the plot for that is just yet, but it feels very quick to be doing it after just one season of the original show. So we'll see if it ends up being good. It feels like a bit of a cash grab to me, if I'm totally honest.
Yeah, fair.
Next up, Olivia de Havilland, the 2-time Oscar winner and Gone with the Wind classic Hollywood star, died last week peacefully in her sleep on Saturday in Paris at 104.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so she had a lovely life. Shark Boy and Lava Girl will appear as adults in the upcoming Netflix movie. Robert Rodriguez is confirming to Collider a big rumor about his upcoming Netflix movie, We Can Be Heroes. Lava Girl, played by Taylor Dooley, was the only parent with a speaking part. There wasn't any talk of Taylor Lautner returning for his role as Shark Boy.
Wow.
So we're getting a Shark Boy and Lava Girl sequel. I mean,
that's insane.
Yeah. Several movies have been delayed in the past week. First of all, A Quiet Place 2 has been delayed until 2021. With an original release date of September 6, 2020, it has now been moved to April 23rd, 2021. Following that, Sony pushed Spider-Man 3, aka the Far From Home sequel, from the January, February, March, April, from the 11th of May 2021 to the 17th of December 2021. So push it back to a holiday film. Furthermore, all of the Avatar sequels have also been pushed back by about a year, and the next 3 Star Wars movies have also been pushed back to 2023, 2025, and 2027, respectively. So those are the big movies that have been delayed. There's also been so many more. But those are kind of the big ones that won't start production for quite some time. Malik B, the founding member of The Roots, has passed away. Malik Abdul Bassett, the Philadelphia rapper best known for his work with The Roots, has died at 47. That is all of the news this week. Thank you so much. We will see you next week. I missed. Beautiful. I probably shouldn't have.
You didn't fade it out.
I just
do it again.
No, we're not going to do it again. That was the news. I had a lot of news this week, actually. There was a lot of stuff. And that was only from the past week. I didn't even recap week from the news from the week that we missed. Wow. So
there's a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff happened in the last week. That's why I didn't bother, because I was like, I can probably do the news from the week before, but there was more than enough to fill the entire segment. Yeah. Last week we had Maddie on the show, which was just awesome. It was. It was so much fun having her on the show. She was such just fit in really quickly. Just like a lot of the time with people that are guests on podcasts for the first time, they kind of come on and they're very unsure. Yeah. But Maddie was like, I'm good. I'm chill. Yeah, it was great. Yeah. But I kind of want to have a chat about we're a very transparent show, obviously. And I kind of want to have a chat with how having her on the show has kind of impacted our show. So for reference, I'm not going to say exact numbers, but our regular viewership has quadrupled in size for that one episode. Really? Yeah. I haven't actually... Yeah, okay. It's quite large. And our YouTube subscribers have also doubled. Which is really cool. So... thank you, Maddie, for coming on the show. Yeah, that was awesome. And that's with minimal promotion on her part. That's literally just... She released a YouTube video. Which is fantastic. It was. It actually made me laugh a lot. I loved it. It's 5 minutes and it's a little... what was it? It's half vlog, half reaction. Yeah. Yeah. To just how the day went, really. Yeah. Yeah, it was so cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed seeing that. But we've been getting a lot of YouTube traffic actually from that video of people being like, I'll watch it. But it's funny. I was talking to Maddie after the episode, and we were talking about how you always feel weird and awkward about yourself afterwards. We have that all the time. Oh yeah. When we're editing, we're cringing the whole time. Why did you say that? But no, it was really lovely to have Maddie on the show. We're already looking for more guests.
Yeah.
Which would be really cool. So if you are a creative of some kind and you would be interested in coming on the show, just send us a DM or email us at thefroshow@gmail.com, I think is our email address.
Yes.
You can email us there as well. But your best bet is DMing us. We'll see that much faster.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
First guest.
That was awesome.
Knocked it out of the park.
Really good
Also, Maddie brought us this plant.
Yeah.
Which we greatly appreciate.
Is that meant to be there? Did he get moved?
You did that.
Did I do that?
Yes, you moved that
When
duck.
did I do that?
Like
Oh.
right before we started the show.
When I was okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry guys.
I thought you did that. I thought you did that on purpose.
No.
Oh. Okay.
I don't even remember doing it.
I do. And I have a terrible
Maybe it
memory.
was you who did it.
It absolutely wasn't me that did it. The duck, you moved the duck.
No.
Okay.
I just remember looking over and it not being there.
All right. Well,
Anyway.
it's fine. Yeah, but Maddie gave us that plant
This little plant.
as a little thank you for bringing her on the show.
Yeah. That was so nice.
You know what we should do?
What?
We should record an Instagram video quickly and send it to her on the show.
Okay.
So that she'll either see the video first or the podcast first.
Yeah.
And we
Well-
won't know which one.
She's more likely to see the video first.
Probably.
Because
Anyway.
we are recording on Thursday.
Yes.
Hey.
Hi, Maddie.
Hey, Maddie.
We're recording the podcast at the moment.
Yeah.
We just wanted
Talking-
to thank you for the plant. It has immediately become a part of our set.
Yes.
And you will see it in the upcoming episode. Thank you for coming on the show. We really appreciate you. Lots and lots.
Really, really.
Big thumbs up. All right, I'll send that to her now and see if she responds during the episode, but I don't think she will.
No.
She's busy gal, busy
Busy.
gal, as is every creative. I feel
Yeah.
like. Whenever I get into like my editing headspace, no one can reach me.
Oh no.
Like, I got my headphones on and my phone is flipped upside down on the other side of the room. Like
Yeah.
I'm just going for it.
Yeah, I get that.
We're not using the NT1A this week,
No.
which is very exciting.
No.
I am very interested to see what difference that makes to our audio.
Yeah, well, these are two dynamic microphones, so they just won't in generally pick up as much reverb and just background noise.
Yeah.
So I reckon it's going to sound really nice.
It'll just be betterer.
It's just better.
And I'm cold.
How are you still cold?
Maybe I should get the set and use it as a blanket.
Yeah, just take down one of the
Just
curtains.
take one down one of them. Show the mess that is the back of the set.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I said. Anyway,
But yeah. So now we have two Procasters. Is that right?
yes, that is
That is a Rodecaster. These are Procasters.
yes. This is a true fact that you speak.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So I'm
So,
just trying to get my head around the name
Procaster,
conventions.
Rodecaster Pro, PSA1,
PSA1, yeah. And XLR.
and Xler.
Xlr. Yes. So now, we both have Procasters now.
Yeah.
And they're great. They sound really nice. And I was
They sound super nice. I hope that sounds okay.
if it does too. Yeah, and I was tossing up between getting a pod mic or the Procaster, but I don't know. This one just
in Australia, it's a negligible difference in price.
yeah.
In America, it's a larger one. In America, the pod mic is $100 and the Procaster is $250.
Oh wow.
But in Australia,
I think it's $50 difference or something.
yeah, it was a $50 difference.
Yeah.
which is
Yeah, not much.
you might
and,
as well just upgrade.
And this one has a better bass frequency response, I think. It's just nicer.
And
it's flatter.
I kind of like the form factor of this mic a lot better than the pod mic.
Yeah.
Like this one, I feel like I can look over. The other one, I feel like I have to look through.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
I get that.
you know, that's very much personal preference.
Mm.
Well, you know what we need to get next though?
What?
Is we need to get the little like colored XLR connectors so that we can like keep track of where it's going.
Oh yeah. No, you know what I reckon what we should do first? You can get coloured pop filters.
Surely we could just spray paint these.
Yeah, they sound terrible though.
Would it?
You just
Oh, because it'd be paint. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's a good point. Maybe you could like, no, you could
I mean,
like,
it probably wouldn't sound that bad. But
you could dip it, like you could like
no,
hydrocode it.
but then nothing could get through.
Not if you hydrocode it.
Yeah.
The one where they like put the paint
the
on
paint-
the water and then they go like,
yeah. Maybe.
yeah,
It'd still sound a little muffled, I think.
yeah. But we could
could
just get a
try it.
colored one. I don't know what color we would get.
But
I think it'd look weird with
it's-
everything else black.
It's so weird because that's what they do in live. Some people think it's a good idea to do it in live sound.
Have colored.
Have coloured So
For,
sometimes
right.
they'll have a little coloured tape on the bottom. It's so they know, so the live sound engineer knows like
Yeah.
which one's which by just looking at it from like where he is. But yeah, some of them put massive big coloured pop filters on it. So the singer's using this big yellow one, then the next person's using a massive red one.
I mean, it could work. It could work if you're doing like a colourful show.
Yeah.
But if you're just like Ed Sheeran doing an acoustic set, like
And he's got a massive green pop filter in front of his face.
I'm trying to think of a single Ed Sheeran song, and I'm completely blanking. I know the names of them.
Yeah.
Lego House is one.
Yeah. That's such an old one.
Oh, I'm like old Ed Sheeran fan.
Yeah, that's
Like yeah. Anything after Multiply, I'm like,
yeah.
yeah.
What about Divide? That was such a big
Divide was quite a
big
divisive
release.
album.
Should have seen all these dad jokes coming out more that you're cold.
I had to hold it in last week with Maddie so that she
You
wouldn't
did,
she wouldn't feel bad about laughing.
or not laughing.
Yeah, exactly. Like it would, like you just go, which I expect, but everyone
Yeah.
else just goes.
Like,
Wait.
am I meant to laugh? At this?
Yeah, exactly. Like I just want honest reactions.
Yeah. Well,
I have something potentially interesting to talk about, but could also be very boring.
yeah.
But I think it'll be interesting for like filmmakers and stuff.
Oh yeah.
People that work with large files. So I finally, after like doing this for a couple years now, have set up a proper filing convention, like a naming and file
Yeah.
convention. And I also have set up a 10 terabyte backup server.
Oh.
So my workflow now has changed because my workflow before was I did everything on my hard drive and everything just sat on my hard drive, which is not a safe way to work.
No.
It's quite a terrifying way to work because if you lose the hard drive, or if the hard drive corrupts, or just like a whole multitude of things happens, all of your work is gone. Yeah. And like I had a couple of them saved like in Dropbox and in like when I was delivering them to clients and stuff. But for the most part,
None
nothing.
of it.
So I set up it's called a QNAP.
Oh yeah.
And it's it's a server based storage solution is what they're called, I think. Storage based service, SBSS. SBUS.
Sbus.
So I set that up with, and it just connects via Ethernet. So it just connects via internet. Sorry. So
Right.
anyone that's on my network can
access
access it and add files and that sort of thing. Now, as well as that, I have also got an app called what's it called? I can't remember. I'll link it in the description of the episode. But basically, what it does is you can create folder templates with templated projects in it as well. And so I've created a folder template that just has like O1 footage, O2 audio, and then in the audio it's like SFX, voiceover, music, and then O3 stills, whatever. And I have like 10 folders that are just templated out now.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, so I can just dump all my footage in there, rename my footage. Sorry. Rename my footage, organize my footage, and get it all ready. And then I have it all in the one place, and it's all the same file structure, and it's all just like whenever I need to search for something. So the naming convention for the folders is like there's a serial number, so it gets a serial number. The company that the video is for. So whether that's like for the Froe Show, or whether that's for my other job, or whether that's for client work, and then it's the name of the project, so what the actual title. So for the show, it would be like episode 21, or whatever, which is what this episode is. And then it goes, so episode title, and then date in like 28/07 2020 form, and then my name,
Right.
and then. So then everything is cataloged. So whenever I need to search for something, it'll come up straight away, no issues, no problems.
That's really smart.
Also, to make my life even easier, I've set up an Excel spreadsheet or a Google Sheets spreadsheet that catalogs all of my footage that I shoot. So whenever I import footage now onto my drive.
Mm.
I put it into this Excel spreadsheet. So it goes by date, company, project name, the folder name that it's in, so that serial name that I had, keywords to do with that footage. So, for example, for the podcast, it would be podcast, Froe Show, whatever.
Yeah.
It just keeps going.
Oh.
And then, so I've got keywords, and then I've got the path to the folder, so directly how to get there on my drive. And then I've got all the other information, so resolution that it's shot in, what camera body I shot it on, frame rate, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then I've also got final export name. So once I've used that footage, I can just say, okay, this footage was used in this project. So if I ever need to go back and get the final footage, like the final, like fully color graded everything footage, I can just go straight to that final.
Wow.
So I've like built this whole system
That is awesome.
that just works now.
That'd be that'd just make life so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was getting really frustrated because we shoot 2 cameras for the show. We shoot one that's shooting in 4K for our close-ups, and then we shoot one that's shooting in wide for the wide shot. Thanks for the demonstration, Joe. But 4K footage is massive. So the show, and this is like Canon compressed as well.
Yeah.
So the show, which is an hour, we only shoot on the 4K for the hour show. The wide takes over for the after show. But that footage, one episode is 64 gigs.
Whoa.
Plus the 8 gigs that the ADD does, plus the mastered audio, plus anything else that I need to add for graphics and that sort of thing. So by the end of it, the last couple episodes for the video podcast, that folder has been 85 gigs.
Holy moly.
And I edit off of a 1 terabyte drive. So it fills up pretty quick. So what I've been doing is I have 8 terabytes of storage in my computer. So what I've been doing is just dragging it off the hard drive and saving it on my computer.
Yeah.
Which is also not a super safe way to work.
No.
But now that I've set up this server-based solution, is I can just upload it to that and it's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow.
So filmmakers,
so cool.
I would really recommend that workflow. You don't need to set up a server-based solution. You can just get another hard drive. Or a cloud service like Dropbox or something like that would also be great. The only reason I used a server-based in-house solution is because I had one lying around that had 10 terabytes in it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, might as well. But even then, 10 terabytes is not a lot.
No.
Like,
especially if you're doing 80 gig projects.
yeah, that's only 100 episodes.
Yeah.
And that's not if I don't do anything else, which is not true. I do a lot of other stuff.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I'll link I'll say what it's called in the description. I'm not sure if I can link it, but I'll set that template thing in there, and then I will probably upload a template for that Excel spreadsheet onto the Patreon. So if you want to get that, head over to the Patreon, patreon.com/The Froe Show. You can get access to that with the $1 tier, and then everything else you'll also get access to the After Froe Show. Yeah. That's just a tiny little Google Sheet doc, so it's not really, I'm not too worried about it. So if you want to get access to that, check out the Patreon. Yeah. But yeah, so I spent like 3 or 4 hours setting that up the other day.
Yeah.
And it's already made my workflow so much easier.
Yeah.
Because if I'm like, oh, I need footage from the Froe Show episode 12, but I don't know where I've saved it, I can just go into the Excel spreadsheet and go Froe 12. And then it'll come up the keyword Froe, and then it'll find 12 in that same string. Huh. Yeah.
Wow. And it's all there.
Yeah. So I can show you how to do it afterwards because I think it'll be useful for you as well.
I am really... You see my desktop
I know.
week, and every week when you're editing, I clear my desktop and try and organize my stuff. And it's always full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll show you kind of my process. There is that app comes with pre-installed templates. I made my own, but it does come with pre-installed ones, and there are several for sound design. So there's a sound design one, there's a Foley one, there's a music one. There's quite a few, and you can just when you make those templates, you can already have it set to be like, okay, make a Premiere Pro file that's titled the same as the folder, that sort of thing. I haven't been able to get that to work flawlessly yet. It kind of works intermittently because like I'm not sure how the file naming convention works just yet for Premiere. How what I can and can't do, because normally I just name it like video 1 or like Froe Show 12. But with this long string, it's like dots and hyphens and stuff, and it doesn't really like that. So I'll see what happens. But so far, I would really, really recommend a storage solution like that, just so that you know where everything is. Because especially if you're like a filmmaker that does ads or does things for other people, if they come back like 6 years down the line and they're like, oh, do you still have the ad that we shot in 2012? And you go, oh, I'm not sure, let me check. And then you can just go into that, look up their company name, and you have the footage. And you can go, oh, that'll be $150 because you lost it. I mean, totally valid. But yeah, so that's already been like a godsend for my workflow. Just being able to know where everything is at all times. It also helps in Premiere, because in Premiere I can just go into the folder, in the media folder, and just be like, oh, that's where my music is, or that's where my footage is, and all that sort of thing.
That might make life so easy.
I'm like actually super happy with it.
Yeah, and so you have templates for different projects now. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, well, I only have one for video editing at the moment, but you can make them for Photoshop, you can make them for Lightroom, you can make them for InDesign. It's all Adobe based, so it won't work for Adobe alternatives, but for the most part, it works.
Yeah, 'cause that's also something I've been meaning to do, is setting up templates for different projects that I might be doing. It's like, this is my composition template. Or I don't know.
I have that in Premiere already pre-installed. So I have different editing workspaces depending on what I'm doing. So I have like a color grading workspace, and I have a like default editing workspace that just has all my stuff open. But yeah, so I would really recommend using that as your storage solution if you're doing filmmaking, even if you're a large production company. Like getting something like a QNAP or something where everyone in your building can just upload finished footage will make everyone's life easier.
For sure.
I think you can set it up so that it becomes like a network drive on your computer, so that everyone can edit directly off of it. But I don't know how
Wouldn't that? Well, isn't that?
It would be slower.
Yeah, and could it crash it easily?
No, I don't think so. I don't know if it would use, because the QNAP is basically its own computer. So it's just like a bare bones computer with 6 hard drives in it. So and it's just in like a little box. So I don't know if you were editing directly off of it, if it would edit from that, or if it would edit from your computer and just pulling the footage from there.
Right.
But either way, it would be much slower, and I wouldn't really recommend it. But all my finished projects, I'm just dumping on there, which would be way easier.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Well, see, I had a question for you this week, and it was, is there something you wish you knew when you started?
That.
So that.
100% that.
But I also kind of had a follow-up question. Is there something you wish you had when you started, or is there something you wish you bought sooner?
Lights.
Lights?
Good lights, yeah.
Good lights.
I only upgraded my lighting setup like last week.
Yeah.
And I really regret not doing it sooner.
Yeah, okay.
It's not. It is an investment. They're rather expensive, but it's not as much as like a cinema camera or a normal camera. It's like you can get good like the Godox lights, the ones that I bought, are like $200 a pop.
Whoa.
Now you can't adjust color temperature or anything on them. They're just you can slightly. You can go from 3600 to 5600 Kelvin, but it doesn't really look like a noticeable difference. So I think it's just like an in the remote. It's saying that you can, but it's not actually changing anything. Is kind of my thinking behind it.
Yeah.
But no, that would be the thing that I kind of like slap myself on the wrist for not upgrading sooner.
For not doing sooner.
Was getting good lighting. But other than that, like I'm kind of about like wanting camera equipment and stuff. Like I'm very much like I really enjoy, because like photography and videography was my hobby first. Yeah. So I really enjoy new gear and new stuff. So I'm pretty easy with upgrades. Yeah. And I would say I haven't regretted one yet. Okay. At no point have I bought something where I go, oh, I just haven't used that, or at least not something that was super expensive. Like I bought a bunch of little things that I'm just like that someone's like, this will change your filmmaking, and then I'm like, I haven't touched it once. Like I have a hot shoe. No, a cold shoe top handle.
I don't know what that
over
is.
there. I'll go grab it.
Okay. Top handle, is that for like... Ah.
So, I just bumped myself. So I have a cold shoe top handle, which is basically like you put it on top of your camera and then you can hold your camera from above like that.
Yeah.
It's great. Like it's really, really good, and it's super useful if you're filming. But they're basically useless if you have a light camera, which I do, because they're not gonna really. They'll be slightly smoother, but it's not really that useful.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the one thing that I like, and a bunch of little things like this. Like I bought a speed light and that sort of thing, but I don't have a need for a speed light. Like I don't need on-camera flash. I've used it once for a party that I shot, and that was it.
Right.
So just those kind of things, but I haven't bought something big yet that I regret.
I suppose you're moving now more into videography and film than you were photography, so that's probably one of the reasons why you aren't using that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I still have this that I don't use. This is for film.
Yeah.
And I'm literally gonna buy another one of these, but for like that's what's it called? Like not cold shoe mount. It has it'll screw into a cage.
Oh yeah.
For my next camera. What about you? Was there anything that you kind of regret that you didn't buy? Didn't buy, and then anything you regret you did buy?
Ooh, anything? There's nothing that I've regretted that I have bought. I probably just wish I'd researched sooner and upgraded sooner. Yeah. Particularly a MIDI keyboard. I still haven't got mine. It's still due in. It's not due till either September or October now. Yeah.
Stupid.
Anyway, but yeah, because I went to a studio at uni the other day, and it's like a MIDI studio that's just keyboards everywhere. And I composed a song for one of your projects, for that short film project. And
we haven't talked about that yet, but we'll talk about it more once it's in production. Yeah.
And it took me like 2 hours to do that whole 5-minute track, just because I had a keyboard and I could fiddle around and just made life so easy.
It's a really good track, by the way. Like it's really, really good.
I'm glad you liked it.
I showed my dad as well, and he was like, "Whoa, good vibes." He said it gave him Interstellar vibes.
Oh, that's a really big compliment.
Yeah,
Hans Zimmer. I sound like Hans Zimmer then. Wow. Awesome.
You sound like Hans Zimmer, man.
I'm just going to ignore that. Also, a second monitor.
Actually, I 100% agree with you on this.
Yeah. I want a third one.
Yeah. I have 3 monitors and I still manage to fill them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would second monitor and
what do you use a second monitor for?
Well, if I'm doing any sort of mixing or editing, I'll have edit window on one monitor and the mix window on the other. Right. But often when I'm doing all that stuff, I'm wanting to play reference tracks at the same time, so I'm hearing what it's meant to sound like, or checking emails or
just having something else going. I have that when I'm like color grading and stuff, because with color grading, audio is obviously not very important, so I'll have something else going on my third monitor, like a TV show or something, while I'm color grading. And then I can be like, oh, and just like look over quickly.
But yeah, so definitely getting a second monitor just made life so much easier, because you can just see more. And learning shortcuts.
Yes, that's a really big one for me as well.
One of my other questions was, is there anything that significantly speeded up your creative process?
Yes.
Shortcuts.
Yes. Shortcuts is one of them, specifically one shortcut, or a set of 3 shortcuts. Yeah. So in Premiere, there's a tool called the razor tool, and you use it to kind of cut clips. And when I started editing, I would cut the clip and then I would drag it to where I wanted it to stop, which is a super slow way of editing. Yeah. Then I found out that with Q and with E on your keyboard, wherever your playhead is, if you press Q, it'll cut everything before your playhead. Q and W. And if you press W, it'll cut everything after the playhead. And then so I was using that for a while, and I was still like switching to the razor tool to cut, and then I would just cut up to that point. Then I found another shortcut, Control K, that just cuts straight through the clip wherever the playhead is. So now I just go cut, drag the playhead to wherever it needs to go, and then Q or W depending on which direction I'm going. So I've taken what would take about 30 seconds down to like 1 or 2.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, same things with all my programs. So I use Pro Tools and Logic. So I haven't really gotten that great at shortcuts because I'm using 2 completely different sets of shortcuts.
That's the advantage I have with Adobe is most of the shortcuts
are all the same.
Transfer.
Yeah. But just really anything that reduces your time to, like, if you're making a new track, just go Control Shift N rather than going to track new.
Yeah.
Or editing with cutting audio. If you have a certain like settings selected on Pro Tools, you can just hit at the playhead, hit B, and it'll break it. Yeah, and it just splits it. But yeah, just any shortcuts really, anything they just make life so easy.
Yeah, I think shortcuts. Whenever people ask me, how do I improve my video editing? Shortcuts.
Yeah,
100% shortcuts. Also, learning how to do in-camera transitions.
In-camera
is a big one.
transitions.
If you shoot to edit, you'll make your life so much easier. Like for example, one that a lot of movies use is obscuring the camera as it goes past, and then so ending the scene by obscuring the camera, and then starting the next scene by also obscuring the camera. So say that a character is walking through like a forest or something. They're walking through a forest, and then the camera pans behind a tree, and then when everything goes dark as it pans behind the tree, it cuts to another shot of people walking through a city, and it comes out from behind a building. That sort of thing. So if you're shooting to edit, and this obviously only works if you're the person shooting. Yeah. But also if you're shooting for an editor, make their job easy. Yeah. But as, independent filmmakers, you're basically going to be doing everything. So shoot to edit and you'll make your life significantly easier. Yeah. Yeah. That's my big advice. Nice. Also, learning how to do, for podcasts specifically, learning how to do, actually I use it for a lot now. Learning how to do multicam sequences in Premiere. It is super easy, but the setting is kind of hidden. So if you have multiple cameras shooting the same thing at the same time, a lot of the time with DSLRs and stuff, time codes are just not very good. So you need to sync the audio from the camera. Right. So you can do that by highlighting all the clips that you want to be a multicam sequence. Then you right click them and press create multicam nest sequence, I think is the full thing. Yep. And then it'll ask you how you want to sync the tracks, and you get like in point, out point, time code, or audio in. And then you go audio in, and you press OK, and your computer will process it. It'll take like 5 to 10 minutes, and then you can just switch cameras with your numpad. Wow. So that's the biggest thing that I did for the podcast, because when I had to do stuff before that, I would layer the tracks on top of each other in the track view, and then I would just cut whichever ones I didn't want to see, and it would take forever. Yeah, like forever. And like now you pretty much just edit it live. Yeah, now I'm just editing it live. I just watch through the episode and I just edit it, and then if something doesn't feel right, I'll just go back slightly and then redo that section. That sort of thing. Jeez. Yeah. So easy. Yeah. Yeah. Which makes my life significantly easier. That's a good tip for if you're filming like interviews or broadcasts or really anything where you would have more than one camera. So obviously not very useful for short films and stuff, unless you're filming dialogue at the same time. Yeah. Which you can do, but don't. Separate camera angles will be significantly easier and more interesting rather than anyway. Not the point. But yeah, that's my biggest thing. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, my biggest advice would just be shortcuts. Shortcuts. Also, invest in a set if you're gonna do a show. Having a proper, especially if you're actually just invest in your space. I'm just gonna say that. Invest in your space. And yourself. Just invest in Yeah. I mean space specifically because when I got like a proper desk and like this was like when I got a desk and like actually got like shelves and drawers and stuff for all places for all my stuff, stuff for all my things. It just it's like something clicked in my head.
And
It's
just like, this is no longer multi-purpose. This is
this is now my space.
Yeah.
And this is what it's supposed to be used for.
Right.
And it just made me. It kind of increased my work ethic because now I'm like, oh, if I'm in here,
You got it. Yeah.
I should be working.
Yeah. Nice.
But obviously, be healthy about it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
don't just be like, I'm really bad with that. I'm really bad with that.
Yeah.
With like time management and stuff. Like I'm like, oh, it's 6 o'clock. I should probably stop. But I could just write this another scene. It's probably fine. And then I like look at the clock and it's 10 o'clock and I'm like, oh, I have work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not good.
Did you want to segue into something?
Yeah. Let's move away from industry hacks.
Yes.
And just.
Yeah, we're talking about industry hacks. Michael Bay. Sorry. That was.
That was my.
I'm kidding. I actually like Michael Bay. That was just a joke. He's just an easy target.
No, that's my new name for the tips and tricks.
Michael Bay.
No, industry hacks.
You know what? That makes much more sense.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Industry hacks. I like industry hacks.
Yeah.
You should make a theme song for industry hacks.
I should.
Yeah,
I'm going to
do it because all of the ones I've made so far.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm the sound guy, so I should probably do something about that.
Yeah, exactly.
But we've given enough industry hacks this episode,
I agree,
think,
yeah.
so I'm not going to share any of them.
No more for free. Go to the Patreon.
No, yeah. But I watched this really...
Actually, sorry, we'll talk about the rest of them in the after show. How about that?
Okay.
All right, we'll talk about the rest of our industry hacks in the after show,
And
which you can check out on Patreon at patreon.com/the Froe Show.
And there are some really good audio ones in here. Like,
oh, good. So audio people, get on
particularly if you're recording, like with COVID, you can't record in the one space. So if you're recording different people in different areas, you want to listen to this.
All right, so go to patreon.com/the Froe Show to check that one out.
Yeah. So I saw a really cool video this week. We talked about Hamilton, how it's up on Disney Plus.
Yes, we did.
I still haven't watched it.
I still haven't watched the Disney, Elsa
you've seen
Frozen
it.
thing.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm mad I haven't seen Hamilton yet.
Yeah.
But I saw this video and they it was kind of like a behind the scenes thing. And they talked about their whole miking setup. And
I did see that. Was that the one with Adam Savage?
Yeah, I think so.
I think I haven't watched it. It's in my recommended though.
Oh, it's so
wow.
good.
Our recommendeds are very similar. I feel like.
It's kind of weird.
I feel like mine's a lot more cameras though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mine's like Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K rig setup number 4.
I'd be like, who's that? Yeah, what is
that? Is a camera.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
No. Mine's like make beats, how to make this beat, or pod mic versus Rodecaster.
I get them. What's the guy's name that does all of those?
Or
the guy with the guitars. Do you know
guitars, who does the versus series things.
He does all the.
He has a really cool voice.
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
And he does like all the He does like he covers everything.
Yeah.
Like he goes polar patterns, frequency, like everything. I don't know what the rest of the stuff is, but everything.
We'll link his thing.
Yes, we will.
He is good.
I can't remember his name.
I don't remember.
His name's.
We'll find him.
It's like literally like the podcaster or something. It's something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think it is that, but it's something like that.
But
anyway, go into your segment.
Yeah. So how many characters do they have in Hamilton? They don't have very many. Well, there's probably like
other than chorus,
30, there's probably 30 people.
Yeah.
All up.
Yeah.
Acting. How many mics do you reckon they have for 30 people?
45.
It's higher.
Oh, 120.
Oh, you're close.
Am I?
Yeah. There's 116 mics.
Insane. Why are there so many?
So every character has like 2 mics, pretty much. Like all the main characters have 2 mics. They're wearing 2 mics at all times.
Oh.
And
why?
they would have like 1 or 2 backups backstage.
Why are they wearing 2?
So
they have the hair one. I know they have the hair one.
Yeah. So most, depending on their costume and things like that, they'd have the hair one, which would either come out of a wig or just the hair. But most of them are wigs.
None of them. I don't think do they have wigs? Other than Jonathan Groff.
I think most of them have wigs.
I don't think so.
Most of the girls have wigs, apparently.
Yeah. But I'm talking about the
guys.
The guys. I think most of it's their natural hair.
Oh.
I know it's Lynn's natural hair. It's Anthony Ramos's. It's almost all of it their natural hair.
Okay. Anyway. But yeah, so they'll have a hairline mic plus one that goes over their ear and comes out onto their cheek. So
why can't you see them in the recording?
no, they're actually no. Sorry, they go over their ear, but it sits just on their ear.
Ah, sneaky.
So it's like those ones that come out to their mouth that every dodgy high school has.
Yes.
The
only person that I saw with one of the mouth mics was Christopher Jackson. Was George Washington.
Yeah.
He has one, but that's because he's bald. So
yeah.
Or
So-
he's not bald. He shaved his head for the role. But
Right.
yeah.
But yeah, there are some characters that have those. Interesting thing about them, they build them. They make those microphones individually, like for this show, for that
I did
actor.
know that, yeah.
Yeah. And there's literally a lady sitting backstage with. I think they might. I don't know if I heard this right, but I think they take a mold of their ear so that they get it right.
That's really cool.
So they get the shape of the wire.
I mean, yeah, if
perfect.
you're making like
100, yeah,
it's stupid amounts of money per night.
yeah,
Like you could afford that.
exactly.
Like how much? What would? I wonder how much they make a night. It'd be in the.
Yeah.
Surely it would be in like the high tens, if not hundreds of thousands.
I don't know. That'd just be interesting to see how much a Broadway show would make every night.
Normal Broadway shows don't make that much. They
No.
basically run break even the whole time.
I was surprised at how many there were.
That run break even, or how many shows?
How many shows there were
Yeah.
in New York when we went.
I was sad we didn't get to see SpongeBob.
Yeah,
It was in.
it had only just come out. Hadn't
No,
it?
it was. They were building it. They were building
Oh,
it
that's
inside.
right, yeah.
So it opened like the Christmas that we were there early December.
Oh,
and
no,
it
open
left.
Christmas.
It opened it just after Christmas, I think. Or early January, and then it closed a month before I went back or a couple months before I went back last year.
That's
But
so sad.
I had the advantage of it coming out on video while I was in New York. So I watched
Oh.
it. I watched it on the TV in the apartment in New York. So
Nice.
I'm counting that.
Yeah, that
Sorry,
counts.
carry on.
So yeah, there's a lady that'll sit backstage and will make each one of these things, and it's completely from scratch. So she'll start with just a bit of wire,
Yeah.
and then she'll have a microphone with this really thin cable, and they actually use fishing line, a fly fishing line, so it's like the thinnest you can get,
Yeah.
to wrap the to attach the microphone to the wire.
Right.
Which I thought was crazy. Like this, Broadway shows using fishing line to
Yeah, I mean, if
make
it
their
works, it
mics.
works, right?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so yeah, each character will have 2 mics that they're wearing at all times, pretty much, and that's just in case one stuffs up.
Yeah.
Really. So the second one is normally will be muffled because it's in weird places, so they
Yeah.
can't be seen. But it's pretty much just so that if something goes wrong, the audience can still hear them, and then they can try and change it when they go off stage next. But yeah, there's this one guy apparently who covers like 6 roles in the show, or who was at that point.
Oh, it's the guy that plays Mariah Reynolds' husband.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And he can cover like 5 or 6 different roles, and just guess how many microphones he has set aside for him.
16.
Close, 14 mics.
Wow.
His 14 microphones set aside for him. And that's and all of them would be different colors depending on skin tone or costume color, hair color,
That's insane.
and they're all sitting on this little rack, and he'd be wearing at least two at once,
Just hanging out on the rack.
just hanging out.
That's crazy.
And yeah, and each one is set, so he'd probably have 2 for each role, and then backups for them, and yeah, crazy.
I want that many mics.
I know, me too.
How many mics do I have? Like personally, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Probably more than me.
I have 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 mics,
7.
not including on-camera mics.
I have 3, I think.
3. You have that one. You have the Procaster.
Yeah.
What else do you have?
I have a SM7B.
Oh yeah.
No, 57. No, 7B. What?
No, they're the.
Wish I had an SM7B.
Yeah, I wish we had SM7Bs.
No,
They're
SM58.
58. Yeah.
Yes. And I have it's a Sennheiser. I don't remember the name. Actually, Speaking of mics that I have,
Are you gonna go get that? Are you
I'll
gonna
be
go
back,
get it?
yeah.
Are you gonna go get it? So Joe told me to open the boot of his car when he got here. Oh, is that what you were gonna get? What are you gonna get?
I was gonna
Oh, okay. We'll do that. Actually, we'll do that on the post show. I'm really plugging the post show today. Cause go check it out. We've got some people on there now, which is great.
Yes.
Getting some content, which is awesome. All right, do you want to?
There's heaps of cool stuff on there.
What have you got?
I have a little. It's a little baggy.
It smells old.
Look at it. It's very old.
Do you smell that?
So this is a very old mic that my dad found. I don't know where.
Okay.
Just in the back of the shed, but
Do you have an estimate of how old it is?
apparently it's either my grandfather's or great grandfather's, and he would use.
That's insane.
Yeah. So this was used for like on the road recordings kind of thing.
Right.
Wait. Actually.
What do you get?
Hold on.
Okay, he's leaving again. Where are you going, Joe? What are you getting? I'm afraid. I'm afraid for my safety.
Okay. I have more. I have more to share. So
Okay.
I'm gonna pull this out first. And it's not like an XLR mic or anything. Like
Oh, you sent me a picture of
that. I
this.
did. So this is it. It is so tiny,
Isn't?
and it sits.
Wait, what's the what's the brand name?
It's Hitachi. Don't they make
They make vibrators now.
Oh. I don't know if it's that brand. I'm pretty sure they make other electrical stuff now.
Do they? Not just vibrators.
I think that's
Bit
a
sad
different
that
brand.
It'd be sad if yeah. Anyway, I'm not a robot. Why is Google what?
Why is Google asking? Anyway, so yeah, I actually couldn't find anything on this mic. I had a quick Google, looked up this UDM 50. Couldn't find anything, but it was surprisingly good quality.
You tried it?
Yeah, I tried it. So the input is like it's a mono, like headphone jack, 1/4-inch jack.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I tried it. The only thing is, like, it sounds nice and clear, but it has its frequency range. It's just
pretty low.
smaller.
Yeah.
So it sounds very boxy.
Right.
But
Like Minecraft.
but
Can I play with it?
yeah.
I'll be gentle.
But yeah, so I actually had a problem with it at the beginning. I thought it didn't work, but because the cable was still wrapped up, I was using it with it still wrapped up, which I should have known that it wasn't going to work. It just kept buzzing, and
Why
audio came up.
does that make a difference?
So it doesn't with
New mics.
new mics because they don't output enough, or they're not copper wire,
Right.
and they don't output enough electricity to sort of have an magnetic field, to create a magnetic field.
Right.
But if you put this wire in all right next to each other, it'll make its own
Right.
magnetic field, and
So then just won't work.
audio just distorts, and yeah.
Hitachi. So Hitachi does still make sound bars.
Oh, they do?
They make sound stuff now, like speakers and stuff.
Yeah. But apparently this is what my grandfather or great-grandfather would use if he was traveling. Tiny little thing. And so this would, little field recorder, and this is field recorders today. This is the Zoom F8.
But
Yeah.
what does that record onto?
Pretty much just whatever you plug it into.
Right.
So I got this to work through a I just plugged it into an interface, but into the instrument line on an interface. So it
Right.
was a TRS input.
Yeah.
And I somehow found an adapter that fit it. So
Hitachi makes a bunch of weird stuff now.
yeah, I couldn't find. Do they still make microphones?
No.
No.
They make projectors, interactive flat panels, security solutions, sound bars, and accessories.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So no microphones.
So surely we record an episode on it.
Oh my word, that would be so. That would just. I don't even want to know what that would sound like.
We could do a sound test and put it on the Patreon.
We could actually. Yeah.
I'm into it.
We might
At
do
some
that.
point, not this week. At some
No,
point.
I will do that. I will make a little sound tester.
Beautiful.
And I'll
So
compare it to
what have
this
we
microphone
said we're
maybe.
going to put on the Patreon? Because we have to finish up soon.
Yeah.
We're going to do your industry hacks.
Yep.
I have to upload the Google Sheet that I made.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that.
That's over in the corner over there.
Yeah. That'll probably be more than enough. And you'll do an audio test on this
Little
old
audio
mic.
test, yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, do you want to finish up with your Foley fact?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right.
Joe's got a Foley fact. Foley fact. Joe's got a Foley fact. Yeah.
All right.
All right. We could not hear that.
No.
We were just watching the levels. All right. Go.
So this one comes from David Filskoff. Filskoff. And this is a good one if you don't have an elephant handy.
Okay. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so if you don't have an elephant handy and you need some ear flapping, apparently you can use umbrellas,
That
but
makes sense.
avoid the metal frame clashing.
Yeah.
Or a leather jacket is all right for making the sound of elephants waving their ears.
At what point
And
would
then
you
it's
ever
little
need to
smiley
make
face.
elephant ears?
If you're doing
Oh,
a
docos.
documentary ad for a zoo,
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That'd be fun doing an ad for a zoo. I think you get like backstage access, back behind the scenes
Yeah, you
access.
would.
Yeah, you can be like in the cages and stuff. with
Yeah.
the handler. You'd be like,
we should reach out to a zoo and do that.
we should reach out to our. Well, I mean, we live like an hour away from Australia Zoo. I'm sure they have
Let's
their own
do it.
media.
I'm
I'm
sure-
sure they have their
yeah.
own media team.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
Let's finish up the episode there.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to relay this message from Maddie. She says, "Hey guys, no, hang on. Hey guys, no, thank you. Happy filming." And then with a little plant emoji.
Aw.
Thank you, Maddie. We appreciate you greatly.
Yes.
All right. So, Patreon show. Going to talk about your hacks. We're going to talk about the mic and probably some other stuff.
Lots of other stuff.
Go check it out. Patreon.com/The Froe Show. You get access to the After Froe Show for literally just $1 a month. Which is so cheap.
That's 25 cents a week.
That is
That's like-
25 cents a week. That is like
That's nothing. So give up one coffee.
not even that. Give up
2 coffees a year, and that'll pay for.
exactly.
Yeah.
What's hang on? 1 divided by 7. That's 0.14 cents. No,
Divided by 7. Why are you dividing it by
I
7?
was doing it by the week. Divided by 4.
Day. No,
25 cents
divided by 7.
25 cents divided by 7. That's 0.03 cents a day. That's nothing. You make that standing. You make that walking into your office.
you make more than that on Spotify streams.
Actually, that's actually true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, go check out the
That's how
Patreon
so.
show. We work really hard on it, and we'd really appreciate you guys checking it out.
Yeah.
Joe, do you have anything else you want to say?
No.
All right, cool.
See you at the Patreon.
See you at the Patreon. All right, let's finish up there. Thank you so much. We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right, ready? And fade out, fade out, fade out, fade out, fade out, fade out.